We got a mid-60s 10 point on trail camera. And we got a great wind. All we need is a buck to just read the script. I say it all the time, Ron Doring was a man before his own time. He was managing shooting does by age structure before QDMA was popular, before it ever came around. He was taking does by age structure, leaving the younger does, taking the older does. This keeps your bigger 3 and 4 year olds on your property instead of them moving to another property to breed. If those 3 and 4 year old does are gone, which are usually their mothers, if they're gone, then there's nothing to run the younger bucks off of the property onto the neighbor. So Ron just figured out a way to keep his 3 and 4 year old bucks on the property that they feel familiar with, where normally they don't get shot because people are waiting on a bigger buck. That turned out pretty good. Not exactly the way we wanted it. We had 3 bucks come into the horns. The first one's a 3 year old, 9 or 10 point with a split G2. I don't think he's 4. But then another one came over the hill behind him. And they both went into this thicket looking for the bite. Our Rosonics did its job. None of those bucks checked up. First thing they did try to do was get downwind of us. They circled our opening and went around us to get downwind. That tells you right off the bat it's not the dominant buck in this area. Yeah, they always want to get downwind and check things out, but they didn't come in. There's bigger deer here. Exciting morning. A little bit of calling. Bucks are on their feet.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Swap Broadheads. Drain your game. Shine Sense. Works anywhere, anytime. Dead Center Archery Products. The best stabilization money can buy. True Ball and Excel Archery. Others claim it, we prove it. Threads Custom Bowstrings. Performance, reliability, success.
So took a great buck in Kansas, headed home for Thanksgiving, and then one of the most favorite things I do every year is back to the hunt club in the late season. I like it, I think, almost as well as the rut. So this is a clover and rye field. 2 years ago, Blake, Garrett, and I chased a couple of deer here and passed up a really nice 10-pointer in the 150s. They shot him the next year and he was right at 170. Beautiful, beautiful buck. But we put trail cameras on this edge and caught the deer coming to this green source. And it's that time of year again. Deer going back to their belly. There's still some rut going on, but they're going back to their belly. So we're going to see what's happening. We're going to get some surveillance. Today's Sitka tip of the week is on matching your gear to your hunt. Early season elk is usually hot, and matching your backpack to accommodate conditions and keep you cool is essential. Personally, I use a variety of Sitka packs, and this particular pack has a light frame and it has a vent that allows you to stay cool. This particular pack is in subalpine. It has multiple compartments and a built-in bow holder. As you're preparing your hunts, be sure and match your gear to your hunt.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Sitka, turning clothing into gear. Black Eagle Arrows, precision carbon arrows. Quiet Cat, the most advanced hunting and outdoor recreation e-bike in the world.
So, it is December the 9th at the Hunt Club in Illinois. Second gun season's just over. I'm going to check trail cameras I have in the area and have had here since right after first gun, the Thanksgiving week. And really interested to see what we find on those trail cameras. Mitchell's telling the story this week, and we're excited about what we might find here at the Hunt Club in Illinois in search of a giant. As I mentioned earlier, one of the strategies we use is taking mornings and finding a mature deer to set up on for the evening hunt. Because a lot of times all you'll do is mess your hunt up by going in the morning and spooking your deer. We're late, but we're going anyway. We just set a set on an 8-point to maybe 170. And we know he's still alive. Second gun's over. Monday after second gun, here at the Hunt Club, chasing giants. Depending on where the second rut is at the Hunt Club, I'll hunt mornings, but in late season, a lot of times, unless I have that perfect spot where I can go in, back door into a bedding area, I'll scout mornings, try to find a shooter or a mature deer, and then set up on that deer in the evening. We had a giant deer on trail camera at the Hunt Club the day after Thanksgiving, 170-inch 8-point. Hadn't seen him at all. Once on trail camera and that was it. So we hadn't had any luck with that deer, so we started going to high points and just looking for a shooter buck. We're gonna hang a camera right here. Every year I hang a camera here, late season, or starting in December, because there's rain in these fields. There's a lake to our right, and this is the perfect pinch point in a giant woods, and the deer just funnel through here. I mean, it's just a great spot. There's always pros and cons to every scenario. The late season's a lot of deer. Cold weather deer move well, but there's also a lot of bucks busted up because of the regular rut. I mean, they're broken. We saw some really good deer that had been broken. Had a few come by the stand. But there's pros and cons to everything, and you work through those things.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Martin Archery, designed and engineered to offer the best archery experience available. Whether your game is target or hunting, Martin is at the head of the pack.
So this morning we're on top of a hill. There's a good buck. He's over there from my blind is from where we missed the opportunity at that 170. I'm pretty sure that's one or both of those 10s, the 150-inch deer I passed, and it's 3 years old, and 170. One morning we go up on this really high vantage point. You can see over all the coal area, and we see a buck that we were familiar with, 5-year-old buck pushing does, and he checks the does out and then walks down the edge of this waterway and beds down in a little thicket on the edge of the water. It created a perfect scenario for us to come in with the wind we had and set up for an ambush. Okay, our deer is bedded somewhere around this pinch point below this power pole. So I'm gonna set up either here at this tree, or there's a rock over here. I can set up behind it and it'll give me good cover. If I can set up here without the does that are bedded on the hill behind us seeing me, I'll set here. Otherwise, I'll set over by this rock. I'm gonna go check it out and see. We go get some lunch and we come back, we slip down this ditch. Wind's perfect, perfect ambush point. This deer's went down this little neck, and we're set up to get a 30-yard shot at this buck coming in this little neck down area. Sit there for about 30 minutes. I catch some movement off to my right and in the exact opposite direction of where this buck had went and bedded 2 hours before. Here comes the buck from the other direction, totally opposite of where we expected him to come from. slurry pit earlier. He had went to the does and come back to us. If we had come into this any other way than the way we did, we would have busted those deer. When it comes together, it's awesome. The rock provided me with cover. I was completely exposed to the deer the whole time. But being by that rock and still, he came and offered me a really good shot. The sun was in my eyes and I really couldn't tell where the arrow hit, but the pin, I put my 40-yard pin right behind his shoulder and made a good shot. We've got great blood. We got great blood. The SWAT hybrid did its job. It went all the way through the deer. We've got long blood. And that tells me that we've got a deer close, hopefully. Look at that old Illinois bruiser. And look at that shot. Martin Addicts. There is no substitute. This bow has done nothing but hit its mark all year for me. We're so excited with our new relationship with Martin Archery. Couldn't be happier. Perfect shot. Perfect shot. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Look at this little beast. My. All I can say, it's never dull at the hunt club. The minute you think it's not gonna happen is when it does. It's magical, the place is special. I've been hunting there for 13 years and have never not had an opportunity at a shooter buck within a week's time. I started my season off at the hunt club. It's where I ended my season. And it's just that special place where things always happen.